We welcome you on a Kids Sunday, a family fun day to Tropicana Field. Rays taking on the Texas Rangers. A lot of kids here on hand for a little Sunday afternoon baseball. The Rays have been playing better since the All-Star break. Best run differential in the American League. The Rangers come in with the best record in the AL. Todd Callis alongside Orestes Estrada as we get you ready for the first pitch on this Sunday. And as you well know, Kids Sunday means we have demos and teaching lessons about the game of baseball. What do we have today?
Well, listen, this is a great demonstration. It's going to be by Derek Shelton, the hitting coach for the Rays. I will, precursor that this is a little bit for the older kids, maybe teenage kids, can really handle this. And what you're looking for here is different ways to kind of set up and hit different pitches, away and in. Mainly you want to stay looking away and then react in. What I want you to look at when you see this demo is where Coach Shelton's hands end up going as he's going to the away pitch or the inside pitch. And it really is about your hand-eye coordination.
Hi, I'm Derek Shelton, hitting coach for the Tampa Bay Rays. Today we're going to talk about a drill that's a little more intricate than some of the other things we talked about. It's the two-tee drill. Now, the two-tee drill we use for a lot of different things, but the one thing you can use it on, especially with younger kids, is it's a two-strike approach. Because with two strikes, we always think about the ball's out here, we want to look for the ball out here, but we still have to cover this ball in here. The other thing we use this drill for is to make sure guys aren't cheating off the tee, because a lot of times when you hit off the tee, it becomes a little bit monotonous for kids, so they start to cheat and their body starts to get in different positions. So all you're going to do is you need to do this with a partner. It can be with another player, it can be with a coach, is you're going to get ready to hit and load, and they're either going to say in or out. And what we're doing is we're always focusing on the ball out here because that's the tougher pitch for us to hit. So as we're loading, I'm going to say in or out. If it's out, I'm hitting this ball. If it's in, I'm hitting this ball right here, taking that same good hand path. This is a drill we do a lot with Longo. It's probably one of his more favorite drills. And what it does for him is it keeps him in a good, strong position. It works on two-strike approach, and it makes him stay tall.
And it's working for Longoria because he's up to how many home runs now?
I believe he's up to 28, so you know what that means.
Solid
winner.
75 RBIs. It's been quite a year for Longoria. 7 minutes, 7 seconds till the first pitch. Rays and the Rangers on a Sunday afternoon coming up.
On Fox Sports Sun is brought to you by Jeep, the official vehicles of summer. Celebrating 75 summers of living 4x4 ever. By LRE, specializing in concrete releveling, soil stabilization, and restoration services since 1989. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. From the Trop this afternoon, wrap-up game of the series between the Rays and the Rangers. Martin Perez on the hill for Texas. Drew Smyly will do the pitching for the Rays. Rays coming off a victory last night here, 8-2 to even this series at a game apiece. Rays and the Texas Rangers on tap as this homestand continues. Red Sox will be coming in tomorrow night. And Drew Smyly goes to the hill for the Rays. Smyly looking to continue a good run. Coming in 5-11. And the lineup today for Texas presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Delino DeShields will lead off for Texas in left, followed by Ian Desmond. Carlos Beltran is the DH. Adrian Beltre at third base hitting cleanup. And their home run leader, Rougned Odor, is at second base hitting in front of the shortstop Elvis Andrus. Ryan Rua is at first. Robinson Chirinos hits eighth, he'll catch. And in right field hitting ninth, Drew Stubbs.
Well, Drew Smyly, and Dwayne, you mentioned it, the run that he is on. It's been 5 straight starts for Drew, where he's gone at least 6 innings and given up 2 runs or fewer. Just an outstanding run by Mr. Smyly. As you see his season numbers, improving on that record, improving on that ERA, and right now has the formula to get things done. Let's take a look at the defense and see how it's going to line up behind Drew here this afternoon. Brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, we have Corey Dickerson, Mikey Matuk, and Steven Souza Jr. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Matt Duffy, Tim Beckham, and Brad Miller, with Bobby Wilson back behind the plate.
Kevin Cash and the Rays, winners in 5 of their last 6. And the first game of this series had a 4-game streak come to an end. Dropped that one, but rebounded last night with a victory. And the Texas Rangers running first in the AL West with a 6-game lead. All set to play ball. Here's DeShields stepping in. And Drew Smyly's first pitch of this game is upstairs. Fastball to start the day. Up out of the zone. Takes another one too high. 2-0. Two lifetime against Texas. Finds the strike zone. 2-1.
No, we saw in last night's game how effective Jake Odorizzi was with the elevated fastball, something that Drew Smyly can do as well. As long as you're pitching from out in front, and with that pitch, he's able to even this count here against DeShields. I'll tell you what,
Jake Odorizzi, boy, he continues to throw the ball extremely well. Cut at the fastball, 2-2 foul back.
Since the All-Star break, the best ERA in the American League. It was 1.66 going into last night's game, and he was actually able to lower that to 1.64. Saw an alert last night on the news late last night when I got home about that. Yep. With tonight's start, the ERA went down 0.02 for Jake Odorizzi.
Well, it should have at least been on the trailer
ticker.
That little ticker tape at the bottom of the screen. Glad that our market's getting with the program. 3-2 now. Foul right back over the screen. Well, let's take a look. There's some more alert material right here.
It's pretty good company. All of these guys throwing the ball very, very well, and Jake leading the way.
Bounding ball foul in behind Spike Owen, who's on an interim basis coaching third for Texas as we open this third game of the series. Yeah, Odorizzi, you know, and here's the thing. Texas, you know, and we talked about it leading up to the trading deadline. We saw almost every member of the Texas front office scouting Rays starters, and they loved Odorizzi, and last night he gave them even more of a reason to have liked what he's been doing.
I wonder if there were some checks and balances, like what exactly were we offering for him and why did we not up that offer?
That's right. 3-2, broken bat, and a high fly ball down the left side. That's going to stay fair and will be caught by Dickerson. The barrel end of the bat wound up all the way down in front of the Texas dugout, and that fly ball hit the warning track, stayed fair down the line. And DeShields, after a long at bat, is retired to start this game.
And that ball was meant to be away. It got in just enough, and I mean just enough. If that ball's any more out over the plate, you see DeShields trying to pull those arms through and getting jammed just a little bit. That had a chance to get out of the park, but that bat sheared in half, and Corey Dickerson records the putout.
A 10-pitch at bat for DeShields to start this game. Now there's a first pitch strike to Ian Desmond. One and one.
That's something that Drew Smyly's taken a lot of pride in during this recent hot streak, is being efficient. You know, last start out against San Diego, 87 pitches through 7 complete innings. And so he's, you know, making short work of people, and obviously starting this game off with a 10-pitch at bat.
You know, it's amazing, this game, you know, from team to team, player to player, pitcher to pitcher. You know, he could not wait to get to the All-Star break. That's how badly things were going for Drew Smyly in the first half. He hit that streak and just nothing would fall right for him. And recently, when you talk about a turnaround,
well, the All-Star break gives you that reset button. you know, a little over halfway through the year, where you can kind of clear the mind, get away from the game for a couple of days, and then just reconfigure things. And what we've seen from Drew is the last few starts especially, he's really walking away from the changeup. It's been more of the fastball, the curveball, the little cutter, the changeup kind of shying away from, trying to simplify things and go into attack mode.
Back into the screen. Well, we take a look at the cold hard facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light, and this is exactly what we were talking about. Look at the first 18 and the last 5.
Right there, that correlation, again, we talk about it a lot, keeping the ball in the yard. And the reason that it's so big for Drew Smyly is the fact that of the 24 home runs that he's given up, 13 of them have come with runners on. Those are the 2-run homers, the 3-run homers. Those are the killers. And so you limit the long ball, you keep them to solo shots, you set yourself up for success.
Ian Desmond out on that high pop fly to right, so 2 up, 2 down. But 17 pitches in. This is more than he's averaged per inning this year, a little over 16. Little number by the mound, picked up by Beckham. Throw to first. They get Beltran. So it's a 1-2-3 first inning for Drew Smyly. Logan Forsythe back in the lineup, and we'll see him when we come back. Drew Smyly. Take a look at the Rays lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. And Logan Forsythe will be the DH leading off, followed by Matt Duffy up in the second spot in front of Evan Longoria. Brad Miller, Tim Beckham, and Steven Souza Jr. down the middle. Corey Dickerson in left, in front of Mikey Montook and Bobby Wilson.
Taking the mound this afternoon for the Texas Rangers, left-hander Martin Perez making his 26th start of the season. The record even up 8-8, ERA just over 4 in 152 innings.
First pitch to Logan Forsythe. He takes it for a strike. Logan hitting .280 for the year, over .300 against lefties. Some interesting splits on Martin Perez. There's a line shot foul. Look out. Out of play. 2 strikes. Look at these splits, lefty righty.
Oh, against the lefties, it's the fastball and then the breaking ball. Slider, curveball, changeup last. Against the righties, primarily fastball, changeup. Then come the breaking balls, and rarely will Perez climb the ladder like that. This is a guy who lives down in the zone. The bottom third of the strike zone is where Perez makes his living. And so what the Rays hitters want to do is they want to see him up. Well, all of a sudden you get one up, but it's a little too up, and he's able to get it by you.
Yeah, you look at his ground ball rate and his double play rate, they're out of sight.
His double play rate, I mean, the next closest, he's got 33 ground into double plays.
Yep. 33.
Carlos Martinez for the St. Louis Cardinals is second in line in Major League Baseball. He has 25.
You know, there's no official has not been throughout the game, and it's hard to believe because you chronicle everything about this game, but no real official ground ball, double play, ground ball double play record. Now, they've got a pretty good idea, but no official record in that regard. Gaylord Perry had 47 one year. It's renowned to be the record. And this guy has 33.
Well, think about it. He gives up a hit an inning, and in 152 and a third now, he has 61 walks. He will walk guys. So you get yourself a lot of base runners. You're a guy that lives at the bottom of the strike zone. You know, he's a big reason why this team here has turned the most double plays in Major League Baseball, and it's not even close. So you've got good middle infielders, good bell trade to Odor. Different ways you can turn those things, and you live at the bottom of the strike zone with a lot of base runners.
And he gets Duffy on strikes. Changeup dipping on him, 2 up and 2 down.
Well, let's set the Ranger defense for you here quick. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in the outfield, left to right, Delino to Shields, Ian Desmond, and Drew Stubbs. And across the infield, third to first, Adrian Beltre, Elvis Andrus, Rougned Odor, and Ryan Rua, with Robinson Chirinos behind the plate.
Base is empty. Here's Evan. Longoria now with 28 home runs. Pitch is a strike. .291 clip for Longoria. Under it, skies it. Right side, Odor tracking it a few steps into the outfield. And it's a 1-2-3 first. On to inning 2, no score. $2 Kid Ticket Tuesday, presented by Morgan Auto Group. Back on Tuesday, this Tuesday, the 23rd, when the Red Sox are in town. All kids 14 and under get $2 tickets with the purchase of a full-price paid adult ticket. Call 888-FAN-RAYS for info or visit raysbaseball.com/specials. Adrian Beltre lofts a high pop foul. Bobby Wilson chases it, but it's out of play about 3 or 4 rows back in the dugout. Beltre, Odor, and then Andrus coming up. 2. Beltre fouling back that fastball up.
Well, you saw how effective Jake Odorizzi was with it. Drew Smyly capable of the same thing in this lineup. Obviously, you know that they're going to go after it. Right there. See that? That's a great example. It's either going to lead to swing throughs or pop-ups if you get it in the right spot.
Dickerson handles that one.
You're just not able to meet that ball squarely when it's up there around the letters. You know, above that strike zone. It looks good. A lot of times you can't even get to it, but when you do, okay, here we go. Just can't get there.
You know what that's like?
It's a lot of things.
You know that crane machine? You operate the crane inside the glass booth.
Oh, no. Yes, I know all about this.
That's exactly what that pitch is like for hitters.
You know what? I want this clipped off to show my son, because he has an infatuation with the crane game, thinking that he's going to walk away with the little, the iPod or the Kindle.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, no, you're not, guy. No, you're not. There's a reason that thing is turning gray. It's been in there for years. It's not coming out.
No, we can get there. We can get it.
You might get the soft little, ball in the back that's deflated. Yeah. Maybe you could grab that. It only cost me $42.50.
Pop up again. That's going to be a foul ball back and into the seats.
By the way, speaking of my son, and then we'll get off the topic, but they went on vacation and he came back with 2 crayfish.
Yep.
2 crayfish, and he named the crayfish. He has 2 crayfish in a big cage. Got the whole setup in there, the environment.
Yeah.
And he's named them.
Yes.
And he's named them literally full name. One of them's named Francisco Lindor.
A ground ball short. Here's Dumpy, tough play, and Odor's speed gives him a base hit. So an infield hit for Odor.
Well, you combine a left-handed hitter, a soft hit ground ball, and you're moving the middle infielder to his right. And then the throw. Odor, look at that, already by the bag.
Yeah, you going, is he ever going to get to the bag?
That's
but
exactly
he's all the way
what you're
past
thinking.
it
Yeah,
already.
no, he's making his turn. So anyway, just to pay it off, he's got a crayfish named Francisco Lindor.
Yes.
And his second crayfish is named Evan Longoria. And he was telling me that Evan Longoria has really grown here in the last
runner
couple of
takes
weeks.
off, and now Smyly will run straight at him.
Oh.
And Odor back to first. Now Miller. And the toss, Beckham's going to get him. So some evasive action, at least attempted evasive action by Odor. And no one wanted to get within arm's length of him. So they waited till he went down, and then they tagged him.
You got to be careful. And don't tag too hard.
That's right. You see, look.
Right here, just a tap.
Nobody's
just a tap.
closing. He's down. Now get him on the back and get out.
Yep. Well, especially after UFC 202 last night.
Yeah.
Everybody's all charged up.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's just trying to time Drew Smyly up. And once he committed, he just kept going. At that point, maybe you're thinking you coax Drew Smyly into a balk. But well played by the Rays there.
One and one the count here on Andrews. Liner into left. That ball will drop just in front of Dickerson, and Andrews has himself a base hit. We've got a lot going on early here.
We do. We do. I mean, some action.
Yep. So yeah, let's get back to Evan and Francisco.
Well, so those are his 2 crayfish, and he was remarking to me and telling me in the last week and a half or so.
Yep.
That Evan Longoria has really grown. He's gotten big. He's so proud of his crayfish, and he's loving.
Get some home run power going.
But he named them full names. I mean, of course, he's up in the Cleveland area, so
yeah.
Francisco Lindor and Evan Longoria, his 2 favorite players.
Why not? Hey, you got pretty good taste in favorite players right there.
Not bad.
Here's Rua missing the first pitch, strike 1. So it's Andrus, the runner at first, a couple of hits. Odor caught off first. Technically a caught stealing. Pickoff caught stealing. Tapper foul. 2. Keeping an eye on the base runner. Elvis Andrus over there. He is in the top 10 in stolen bases. 17 on the year. Brings him 9th.
And the opposition now 12 out of 16 against Drew Smyly. Some action.
Fastball foul right back.
I think that's where you get the scouting report, and they're like, listen, Drew Smyly will come set. There's a 1 count, kick and go. And that's where you get a guy like Rougned Odor that as he comes set in his own mind, he does the count and then he's off. And here Drew Smyly decided to hold the ball there and got him. Caught him guessing. So then that gives everyone else pause.
Well, that's a way to put the brakes on that.
That's right. That's why it's so important, even for left-handed pitching, which have the added advantage of looking at the base runner to vary your times. Come set, hold the ball sometimes, other times go quick.
Yeah, it's interesting. The pitcher's looking right at the runner, but conversely, but great base stealers tell us that they'd prefer to run off a lefty because the runner is facing the pitcher as well.
Oh, I'd love that. I feel like you got them right where you want them if they really want to go off of you. You can combine a good move with being quick to the plate other times. You really,
yeah. Well, quick to the plate's a big deal.
That is it, because it becomes a math problem. We got a runner, we got a base runner. We know with his jump how long it takes him to get to second base. That's why they time the pitcher from first movement to the ball into the catcher's mitt. And then the catcher, conversely, how quick can he get the ball to second base? And it becomes the runner, equals pitcher plus catcher to second. The number's lower, he goes.
Popped up foul, carries out of play.
Yeah, for the longest time, the bookmark was, fewer than 2 seconds from the time it hits the catcher's glove till it gets to second base. The pitcher, you want him to be as quick as he can with being under control and being able to throw strikes, because you've got to be able to make quality pitches to the hitter.
And a cut and a miss after the high fastball. A man left, no runs, no score in this game. The official vehicle of summer, celebrating 75 summers of living 4 by forever. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by your Southern Chevy dealers. Brad Miller to open the Rays half of the second inning. Ball to no strikes. Brad now with 25 home runs. And since the end of July, 10. Beckham and Souza Jr.
Well, he has gone back to that high leg kick. He said he wanted to feel more athletic at the plate, more freed up, and now all he worries about is putting the bat on the baseball, trying to hit it hard.
Odor cannot make a play. Tried to backhand it. The ball popped right out of that glove. And by the time he could stop and go back to get it, no play.
Boy, this is a team that's right at the top of the American League in number of errors. Defensively, they have not been that good this season. This should be a routine play right there just because of the hop. Up there by the waist, he had to move a little bit, but this right here is a play that has to be made. Odor not able to do that, and that's a leadoff runner on.
Yeah, that's his 18th error of the year. Here's Tim Beckham. Is a strike. Beckham with 2 triples in the game last night. The only other player to leg out 2 triples in a game at Tropicana Field. Oh, a balk.
Yeah, and that was quickly called out there by Chad Whitson out at second base, and while he was still set, you just wonder if that back leg collapsed. Started, well, no, start and stop. That was an easy call right there. Tough to tell from where we are, but you see that start and stop, can't do that.
Whitson, he worked the plate here in the opening game of this series. Now Beckham puts down a bunt, a good one. Throw to first with Miller moving over to third. The Rays have a man at third with 1 out. Sacrifice Perez to Rua.
You know what? Listen, Tim Beckham's been swinging the bat well, but the Rays have been doing a lot more of this. You know, trying here to get on the board first.
Yep.
And so Beckham lays down. He's asked to lay down a bunt. He lays down a great bunt. You see all the high fives as he gets into the dugout. Does a nice job, squares around, and just deads that ball. You can tell right there with the technique, that's a guy who's done that a few times.
It's coming off the big night last night with those 2 triples we mentioned. Now Sacrifice first him up, and you're right about what the Rays have done lately. And I think we're going to continue to see here over the last couple of months, when all of that started, things that we haven't seen through the first 4 months of this season. Steven Souza Jr. hitting against a drawn-in infield as the Rays try to get the first run.
And you can do that if you're the Rangers with confidence because of the ground ball rate, the number of ground balls that Perez gets. Working down in the zone, certainly that's what he's going for here early. If he gets to 2 strikes, he'll start to think about how he can try to punch out Souza Jr.
Here's time. Well, and there are those 2 avenues. Souza strikeout prone. You've got a ground ball pitcher on the mound. He got it in the infield. Got Miller down at third with 1 out. He takes that one just off the plate, checking in time. 1-1. The count. Reached on the error. Was balked up to second. So a couple of gifts right there by Texas to the Rays.
You got to take him, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're given a gift, you take it.
Be rude not to take it.
That's right.
Be grateful. Say thank you and take it. Tapper, now the count is even at 2-2.
Yeah,
foul ball.
And now is when you go for the strikeout. And you think back on the fastball to Logan Forsythe. He's been down in the zone, threw one that was up and in, but anything over the plate has been down. So now in 2-2, in the 2-2 count, do you elevate with the fastball to try to get Souza Jr. to chase? And that's what Chirinos was calling for. Chirinos called for that fastball, and you saw the hand. He said, I want the heater up, and Perez shook. So go back and see what they're going to go with.
A lot of suggestions.
Gonna go soft.
He got Duffy with a changeup. And this one drops low. He did go changeup, and the count is full.
Yeah, he loves his changeup. I think in his last start, he threw 40 of them. Very big on the changeup.
Yeah.
But I think Chirinos had it right the first time. Fastball up.
But that pitch up is a pitch that he doesn't throw a lot, but it certainly was effective to Forsythe for the reason you mentioned. Oh, look out. Ducking that one. Miller down at third. So, hey, I'm down here.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's one thing to get a secondary lead, but then you've got to have your head on a swivel and be heads up. I mean,
Souza and Perez in this battle. Another 3-2 pitch. Souza's out on strikes. So Souza out number 2. Big strikeout for Martin Perez.
They got him to chase out of the zone. He got him in, once again, he got him into that swing mode. Wants to drive that run in and throws that little slider down and in, back foots it. And he does pick up the strikeout.
You know, that's interesting because we talked about the fact that he doesn't use the four-seam a lot, but he uses the slider even less than the four-seamer. And that's the pitch he eventually got him with.
Well, sometimes it's just a feel. You know, he threw that one previous, the one that was lined close to Brad Miller. That was a slider, but it wasn't down far enough. So you give him another look, take it a little lower. You know, that's just a read there and a feel for Perez.
Dickerson fouls it back. Corey Dickerson hitting .227. And almost all of his offense coming against right-handed pitching. Just a handful of at-bats against lefties. And there's the breakout.
And we saw Perez's breakout against lefties. This is going to be a tough at-bat.
Ball getting loose, but not far enough to give Miller a chance.
You know, almost, well, not almost, a 121-point difference between righties and lefties. A $170 against lefties and 1 home run given up. And you understand why. You know, he's got good sink on the fastball that he can run down and in and try to get it under your swing. And also that slider that he can sweep away from you. Now you just look to battle. Corey Dickerson, you're just trying to foul tough pitches off and hope that he makes a mistake.
Perez on the verge of pitching around the error. Now ball, 2 strikes. Scoring opportunity of the game. The 1-2. A little soft liner. This one will be caught by Odor to retire the side. Rays leave a man at third. Scoreless through 2. Third from Tropicana Field. Rays' new ballpark will be your new ballpark. Join us at Rays Ballpark, ballparkreimagined.com to see our vision and share your ideas. What do you imagine?
Hey,
Available at Ballpark Reimagined.
I got a question for you. When you take a look at a shot like that, from a blimp, and you've gone to ballparks before where you see the plane flying out there and he's got an advertisement behind it.
Yeah.
Why do you do that at a dome? I'm just asking because just for two reasons. I'm thinking parking lot, 95 degrees, 90% humidity, tailgating probably limited, and then everybody in the ballpark can't see it.
That's true.
So I just was curious. I've wondered that for a while.
Base hit by the Chirinos.
The blimp I get for that shot. I'm talking about the advertisements that fly around.
Yeah,
and you're like,
you see a lot of those from the dome?
I do.
Really?
On my way in.
Oh.
I get here a little later than you.
Oh, well, maybe that's why people are still coming in.
There you go.
You know who the answer man is? Todd Cowan.
That's
Todd.
right.
What do you got, buddy?
You know where they get the banners, guys? Right there at the Albert Whitted Airport, right down the street.
See, they pick them up right there, and then
There
they
you go.
fly them to wherever they're going to take them. They happen to fly by Tropicana Field en route to points elsewhere.
Okay, well that route it does a couple circles over the Trop before it heads elsewhere.
Just warm it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's as good as an answer as I could have expected. And I appreciate you clearing that up. And Todd,
Yeah.
I will say that there is some warming up that goes on
Yeah.
before they head elsewhere.
Yeah, and sometimes there's so much banner traffic that you have to circle for a while. And that's a good place to do it.
That one even makes more sense. Because there is circling.
Yeah. Lots of circling. 1-1 the count to Drew Stubbs. Leadoff base hit by Robinson Chirinos. Now 1-2. Rays with Drew Smiley out of the University of Arkansas on the hill today. Right center, Souza Jr. making the call. It's the first out. Here in the third with Chirinos, the runner at first. We'll go back around to the top of the order. Delano DeShields. DeShields back with this Texas Rangers ball club. He was the club's opening day center fielder. Playing left field today. Split his time between center and left. Was optioned at one point to Round Rock. It was in the middle of May. There's a strike. DeShields originally an infielder. And an extended at bat to start this game. 10 pitches before Smiley finally got him on a fly ball to left. There's a fly ball to left. Pretty well tagged. Dickerson's going to go to the wall, and that's out of here. Home run on an 0-1 pitch. DeShields hits his fourth home run, and Texas jumps out in front 2-0.
Go back to DeShields' first at bat, and if that fastball doesn't get all the way in on him where it sheared his bat, he hit that long fly ball down the left field line, that would have had a chance to get out of here, and he makes up for it here in a cutter. Anytime you leave a cutter out over the plate, it really is nothing more than a hanging slider, an easy read for a hitter, and DeShields was able to catch that one clean.
25th home run of the year surrendered by Smiley. And Ian Desmond takes a strike as DeShields, they're surrounded by his teammates following that 2-run home run.
And that's the key. What did we say, coming in? 13 of the 24 with runners on. Those are the ones that hurt. And here's another one.
1-2. That ball, we haven't seen a lot of changeups, but it, at least from here, seemed to have that kind of movement.
That's what that's really, that said changeup to me, but sometimes with Drew, you've got to really check the grip.
1-2. Oh, foul ball back.
How about this, Dwayne? You're right. It looked like it had changeup action. It's curveball. Curveball. And look at that. That's you. Okay, the grip doesn't match the action on the pitch.
No, not at all.
The grip does not match the action on the pitch. You know, we've talked about that with Drew, how sometimes the changeup and the curveball, it's hard to tell them apart. Well, there he had a curveball grip, and that had changeup action. That actually faded down and away.
That's exactly right. I mean,
that's something I've not seen before. Really. Not like that.
Fly ball, right field for Souza Jr. With the second out. Well, that was a great shot by our crew there, just to establish what that pitch really was. As you said, you look at the grip. That's a curveball grip and delivery and a changeup as it approached the plate with that kind of changeup action on it.
Yeah, and don't ask me how you do that. I mean, really, that's curveball grip. And if, in fact, if you would have shown me that clip right there, like I would have said changeup right there, but I'm sure that was a curveball.
Yep.
I mean, you show the grip and then the action on the pitch from that angle, and you say somebody spliced something together.
Well, that's why it's so difficult to figure out what Andriese throws sometimes. You know, he gets
Andriese is easier than that.
He gets strange action on his pitches.
But you know that. And that's because, you know, at least there's a reasoning. You know, he can have changeup grip, but he has his wrist cocked, and you can see why he gets that action. That grip, and then the action that we saw coming out of it, I don't know how you do that. I really don't know. I have no answer for you on that one. God bless you if you can do it, though.
Cut and a miss. 2-2. Well, here's the thing. It's not exactly like a backup slider.
It's worse than that.
But it's more.
It's actually fading. There's some fade action to it.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout of Beltran on the fastball. 2 runs on the homer by DeShields. 2-0 Texas. Details, MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Mikey Montook to lead off here in the bottom of the third. Then Bobby Wilson and Logan Forsythe. Fly ball into center field. Desmond will go back to the track and make the catch. Montook going after the first pitch fastball. Send it right back into center. Well, it continues to be a tough run for Mikey Montook, who's now 0 for his last 27.
Well, and that's why, you know, we've seen him in the leadoff spot, something new. Then you throw him back down in the order, figuring that, you know, in the 8 hole, Martin Perez is going to give you a first pitch fastball, and so you're going to try to jump it. Anything you can do to try to jumpstart Mikey Montook, but to this point, it's not happened. And this is where it's the mental battle.
Yeah,
this is where
it's tough.
I mean,
you feel for a guy.
You do.
And in this case, happens to be Montook. You see a lot of guys go through this, but a young player trying to take advantage of opportunity, it's just not working. And to keep that even keel is a challenge. Two 2-0 the count to Bobby Wilson to start this at bat. The count. Logan Forsythe on deck, and ball 4 to Bobby Wilson. Well, with Logan Forsythe all set to come up, let's check in with Todd. Todd?
All right, Dwayne, DHing today for the Rays, and not because they were concerned about Logan's ability to play second base, but rather Kevin Cash thought if it happened to lock up on him, the back that is, during the course of the game, it's an easier spot to manipulate than if he was at second base. One other injury update, Kevin Kiermaier still recovering from that left hip tightness. He said he's ready to go today, but you would think Kevin Cash, who normally would use him if he was 100% as a defensive replacement, might wait an extra day or two, guys.
Yeah, I want to make sure that that left hip is all right, get things squared away, so that he's ready to get back into that starting lineup.
It might even be a scenario where if this is a night game, maybe he gets a chance to play. But coming in the morning, day game, forget it.
You know, you look at a situation like that, I mean, you want your best players to play as often as possible. And the Rays not in the race, but they still want to get some answers on the remaining part of the schedule. And to be able to play him, and they moved him up in the lineup. We've seen him bunt, be active offensively as well as defensively. So it's important for the Rays to have him play as often as possible, and you want to make sure he's healthy to do that.
Especially when it involves anything, you know, with the legs, hips. I mean, so important to Kevin Kiermaier's game.
1-2 the count to Logan Forsythe. Tapper, if it's fair, it could be a difficult play, but Beltre lets it go foul. The count remains 1-2.
And that's the only play that Adrian Beltre had. Immediately, he breaks to charge and think about making a play, realizing that there's no way he's getting Logan. Pulls off. That ball does trickle foul. Perez gets another chance, as does Forsythe.
You know, the other strange thing about Martin Perez, we've talked about the splits and all of that. Crony is throwing a ground ball. His home and away record, unbelievable.
Oh, you take that
He's
one.
7-1 at home with a 2.36 ERA. And on the road, he is 1-7 with a 6 earned run average. And the closest thing that we've heard out of the Texas camp to try to figure that is that there are times on the road when things speed up on him a lot more. Things tend to get away from him on the road more than they do at home.
Well, you know, you've got, first of all, the fans are against you. You know, that plays in.
Tapper left side down to second, one, and no throw to first. Forsythe reaches on a fielder's choice.
And that's really what it boils down to. Is you know, a road atmosphere is always tougher because it's basically, you know, 25 men and a coaching staff against the entire stadium. And that's where things can speed up on you. All of a sudden you give up a hit or two, fans start to get loud, they start to bang on the seats, and all of a sudden you get a little bit out of your game. You know, that just speaks to mental maturity and you know, being able to push those distractions away and focus in on the task at hand. Easier for some than others.
So here's Matt Duffy with a runner at first and 2 outs. Just want to know, they have Matt Chirinos catching him today, but Lucroy has caught a couple of his starts with good outcomes. They're very happy about that, and they're hopeful. The Rays trying to do something about it, but Texas hopeful that he can get a little comfortable with the Chirinos as well. His earned on average with Chirinos behind the plate is over 680 right now.
Bad combination when it's on the road too.
Yeah, I mean, they're just throwing fate to the wind.
To the wind, yeah. My goodness. Now that's one thing. If you're going to catch Martin Perez, you better have a guy behind the plate who can block a pitch, because that changeup, he's going to bounce a ton as he works the bottom of the strike zone, takes the changeup out of the zone. And how many have we seen already down there in the dirt?
The other thing they said about the Lucroy behind the plate, that he's encouraged him to go a little four seam and in a bit more.
Pitching in. I mean, that it's so important. If you live on half the plate, and I don't care what league you're in, well, unless you can really spot it and you're like 10. But outside of that, if you live on half the plate, you are forced to be perfect, because it won't take long for hitters to start diving out there, and then all of a sudden that outer half becomes the middle of the plate because guys are diving like crazy. If you don't make them and keep them honest with the fastball in, you don't have to pitch in there a ton, but you have to pitch in there enough for they respect it.
Yep. Well, he walks Duffy to push Forsythe up to second. 2 men on, 2 men out. Buick GMC big matchup, and you can see since the end of May for Evan Longoria, with men in scoring position, he's hit .475, and look at the slugging percentage. I mean, that's good work right there.
That's top of the league work. Well, here's a big opportunity. You know, when the Rays have been going good, have gotten on nice little runs as a team, the one thing they've done offensively is they've answered. You know, if the other team takes a lead or closes the Rays lead, they've been able to come back and answer, and here's your chance.
Evan 8th in the league overall with men in scoring position. 347. Takes a pitch for a strike. Longoria with a couple of hits last night, including his 28th home run of the year. That pitch cutting in on him.
And that was one of those. There were a couple of those by A.J. Griffin that just got kind of left out over the plate that were hit very hard.
High shot opposite field. Toward the corner. Got some carry. Off the wall. 1 run is in. Duffy's going to be held at third on the double. Longoria comes through again, and the Rays are on the board. Hit that ball a long way to the wall down the right field line.
Anytime you have an inning where you walk the number 9 hole hitter, then you walk a hitter with 2 outs, you're asking for trouble. Good slider to start out. That one stays away, very little movement. Evan gets good read on it, and he almost got good enough carry to get it out. Boy, just a couple of feet short.
His 32nd double of the year. On the Rays' first hit of the game, they have a run. And 2 more men in scoring position with Brad Miller coming up.
The crayfish flexes his muscles.
Yes, he does. Got a nice little growth spurt, especially when it comes to the batting average with men in scoring position. Since the end of May, that's been a great growth spurt. Here's Brad Miller. Starts to go and checked in time. Good take there on that fastball low. Miller up 2-0. Brad hitting .265 on the year to start the game and .257 against lefties. Takes a strike, 2-1. Shields hung up long enough. Braves will leave 2, but they answer with a run. Evan Longoria's double, scoring Logan Forsythe. We go to the 4th, 2-1 Texas. Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock do. The brains to know and the guts to say. Catch Colin and Jason on FS1's new daily sports talk show. Speak for yourself, weeknights at 6 p.m. Eastern. The strike, Adrian Beltre. One and one. 2-1. See what Beltran's done over the past couple of weeks. 5 home runs, 12 games. Average starting play today, 293. He's ahead in the count, 3-1. Runs the count all the way out. Smiley gave up 1 run in 7 innings. On the 15th, that was against San Diego. Ground ball. Duffy makes the throw to first. Beltre is the first out. So 3 wins in the last 4 starts. Well, the Rays lefty Drew Smiley, the only game in which he did not get a decision was against Kansas City, and he gave up 5 hits, 2 runs in 7 innings in that game. Hot shot foul, has people ducking. Odor singled his first time. Strike the count to him. Chopper foul. Picked up by Miller. And a souvenir. A 2-strike count. Did he go? He held up, says Gary Cederstrom.
Trying to drop that breaking ball below the zone. You know, when you got the count in your favor, that's when you want to expand. That's why, you know, it's so important to pitch from out in front. You know, if you can throw strikes early, you could expand out late. If you're out of the zone early, now you've got to come back in. Much more difficult way to pitch.
Upstairs and a take. It's 2-2.
Now's where you've got to make your pitch. You don't even want to give Odor a chance with a full count. So 2-2, your best bolt.
And a little piece of that one foul. Popped up. Foul ball and caught in the ninth play by Wilson. Longoria down from third, to Bobby Wilson covering some ground from back of the plate, handles that foul ball.
Yeah, and you're thinking Evan Longoria the whole way, but he had a long way to go to try to make that catch, and Bobby Wilson got rid of the mask, got rid of the helmet early. And watch him go find this. There he is, finds it, gets rid of the stuff, takes control. Good range there for a catcher.
Yeah, and that's also a big heads up because you can see, as you pointed out, the ground Longoria had to cover. He was shaded way over toward that normal shortstop position. And so Bobby Wilson, anticipating anything over there, is ready to go.
You know, that's the key. Is you know, you can't assume anything because most of the time that's the third baseman's making that catch. But you've got to realize, listen, shifts, shades, guys are out of position, and when that happens, your responsibility grows. And that's where you have a guy like a veteran like Bobby Wilson behind the plate who realizes that and is not going to assume that that's the third baseman's ball. He's going to go take charge.
1-2 the count. was a cut and a miss, or did he get a little piece up? Got a little bit of it. Or not. I guess he didn't. They're going to tag him out. Now he's out. And Andrus out on strikes. So a strikeout there for Drew Smyly. And him out in front. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 2-1 Texas. Moment. David Price returning to face the Rays for the first time since being traded. And the Rays managed just one hit. An RBI triple by Brandon Guyer came in the first inning, and it was enough to defeat Price and the Tigers 1-0. Here tomorrow night, it will be David Price and Blake Snell matching up. Liner off the bat of Beckham. That's headed for the left field corner. Bounding away from DeShields a bit, and Beckham is in at second with a double. Tim Beckham not wasting any time. A two-base hit, his 11th of the year.
Well, he got a breaking ball. Looked to be a slider. Let's see. Yeah, slider. And it was out over the plate, and he just goes right after it. Has a beat on it, rips it down into the corner. How about the fact Tim Beckham, you know, over half of his hits this year have gone for extra bases. Of course, we had the 2 triples in last night's game, which not many Rays have done, and obviously right there another extra base hit with the double into the corner. Good start here in the fourth.
Yeah, those 2 triples in the 7th and 8th innings last night sacrificed his first time up and a double, and now a base hit through the hole on the left side. Beckham will advance to third, and to make sure it was going to go through, and Souza's aboard with a single.
And you wonder where in the world was Elvis Andrus, because that was hit to traditional shortstop, and here's Andrus keeping Tim Beckham close and giving up that whole left side as he goes back. I mean, that is right to the shortstop position, but trying to keep Beckham close out there at second base. Not able to get there in time.
First and third, nobody out. Here's Corey Dickerson. So the Rays starting to push Martin Perez here in the 4th inning. First pitch is a strike. Perez got out of a spot with Miller at third. Rays left a man at third in the 2nd inning. Got a run, left men at second and third in the 3rd. Now 1st and 3rd, nobody out in the 4th inning.
Well, this is another area that in which the Rays want to improve, and that's situational hitting. And this is a golden opportunity. You know, 1st and 3rd, there is nobody out. You're thinking about putting the ball in play. Middle infielders, they're conceding this run as they're playing back, looking maybe for a chance at a double play, which Perez known to get.
2. Texas got 2 runs in the 3rd on the home run by Delino DeShields. Longoria doubled home Forsythe in the Rays' 3rd, and now a threat in the 4th. Look out down there into the stands, back a 3rd. Still 1 and 2.
I think, yeah, and you know what? There was a great right there. After that line drive, the little girl was closer to home plate than Dad. And you're thinking, okay, I think it's time to change seats. And that's exactly what happened. So Dad
and I'll tell you,
gets out front.
That's a great point. And for folks watching, that's exactly how you should play it. You have to be heads up, back a 3rd or 1st, depending on who's at the plate and so forth. But there should be some protection there for those youngsters.
No doubt. You're in an aisle, seats 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, parents, adults 1, 2, kids 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Between them and home plate.
Yeah, because hey, they're going to eat their ice cream and they're going to talk and do all the things that you expect them to do. And that's glad to see that move made. Liner into right field. That's in there for a base hit. Beckham's going to score. Souza's going to go to 3rd. Game tied 2-2. Men on the corners. And Dickerson drives in his 5th run of the year against a left-hander. And overall, that's RBI number 48.
Oh, wait till you see the location on the pitch. You know, Corey Dickerson not known for handling the ball up in the zone. They want it up and, or down and away. That ball's up and in, and he's able to get to it. A little tomahawk action right there, and he just drops it out into right field. And the Rays in business. I mean, pushing Martin Perez around here in the 4th.
Mikey Bautuk. This would be a good time to break out of this stretch he's been battling through. Takes a strike. The Rays convert the leadoff double into a run. Hit only 170 off Martin Perez coming into this start. Dickerson first with the RBI single. Souza 3rd. It's away. Changeup. He's heavy sinker changeup. Ball, then the 4-seamer, then a slider. Covered up by Robinson Chirinos. The count is 2-2. Goes out to Venezuela, 25 years old. Up right side. So Dorr there to make the catch for the 1st out.
Well, he got what he needed. He got an out with no movement from the Rays base runners. Didn't come via the strikeout, but a pop up here in the infield.
Well, Bobby Wilson now to face Martin Perez. And there's the bunt down the line from third. Comes Simmons Jr. Safe. Boy, perfectly executed. Great job, and the Rays take the lead. Boy, that first and third that had been dormant in the Rays arsenal for so long has reappeared, and you couldn't do it any better than they did it right there.
I mean, this is it. Perfect execution. Souza Jr. reading it. Bunts down. He's off. Tremendous effort by Rua, but as you can see, not even close to being able to make a play, and a nice job by Bobby Wilson to get that down and get it away from bunting it directly at the pitcher hard. Kept it away from the pitcher, forced an infielder to try to make the play, and Rua had to come too far.
You know, the Rays picked up Bobby Wilson because he's a veteran catcher, but that's a part of his game that is excellent. The bunting side, the sacrificing, handling the bat in bunting situations, and you just don't see a lot of it anymore. And he's very good. He was the perfect guy perhaps to have at the plate for the Rays right there, first and third, to pull off that play.
And all you got to do is come out and watch batting practice with these different teams and watch the guys. Typically they're going to lay down a bunt up the first baseline, bunt up the third baseline, and then start hitting and watch them bunt.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of efforts put into it most of the time, but the guys that do take pride in it and do it correctly and the technique is sound, how valuable they can be.
Yeah, and I just don't understand why there's not more effort put into it, because if other teams aren't, that's a potential advantage for you. And this is how you do it. Bobby Wilson putting on a clinic right there. Logan Forsythe, the hitter for the Rays. Step back by Perez. Dickerson, the runner at second. Wilson at first. Deep to right. Stubbs will go to the track, look around, and that baby's gone. Opposite field home run. Logan Forsythe belts it out. The Rays have put together a big inning. Home run number 16 for Forsythe, with Dickerson and Wilson scoring in front of him. 3-run blast to the opposite side for Logan Forsythe, and the Rays make it a 6-2 ball game.
Now just being patient against Perez, seeing pitches that are up in the zone, spitting on most of them that are down. This one not that bad, but we know Logan Forsythe, he's got power the other way. We see it time and again, him taking balls out to right field because of how quick his hands are and how he lets the ball get into the zone and then explodes on it. Got another one.
Matt Duffy taking a pitch too high. Well, Logan Forsythe back in the lineup today in the DH role, and delivers big here in the 4th inning. Rays have made it a 5-run inning to take the lead.
You know, so often with Martin Perez, whether it was that fastball or the changeup, right out, he's trying to live in the bottom of the zone, so much that balls out of the hand are easy reads on below the zone, and then you get yourself
look out. The bat went flying and into the photographer well. Heads up there.
I mean, did that catch a camera? The way those two were chuckling, it didn't catch either one of them, but that went in there on the fly.
Yeah, that's scary too.
Yeah, it is.
going to have to get mom and dad to stand in front of the photographers, too.
Anybody with a glove. Make for some pretty cruddy photos, though.
3-1, chopped down to third. Beltre's got it. Throws it across to first. 2 outs in the Rays inning. Been a 5-run inning so far, and Evan Longoria is on his way to the plate. Toyota inside look, just compare 1 year to the next, and it's been a significant turnaround for Evan Longoria. He continues to push those numbers in the right direction here in the final month plus of the season. After the first pitch and a popper, Andrus out from shortstop, shallow center, and he makes the catch. 8 men come to the plate for the Rays. The big blow, 3-run home run to right field for Logan Forsythe, and the Rays grab a 6-2 lead. And a hard-hitting infielder as well. And the Logan Forsythe bobblehead just around the corner when the Rays face the Blue Jays Saturday, September 3rd. Make sure to grab your fan vote favorite bobblehead presented by GTE Financial. 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com. Rays up. So the fan favorite, so voted, and that vote would be even better today, coming off that 3-run home run in the 4th. 2 strikes to count. Rua leading off, fouls it back. Ryan Rua, then Robinson Chirinos, and Drew Stubbs. Out on strikes on the pitch up. He got him the same way in the 2nd inning.
That was a great sequence there by Drew Smyly. A couple of breaking balls to get ahead. Fastball up. He's able to foul it off. So take it a little higher. Not able to foul that one off. And this was exposed really last night to where this lineup, I mean, throughout, these guys like the fastball. They like to swing the bat. They like to be aggressive. And they're very susceptible to that elevated heater. I mean, last night they had 6 guys in the lineup with 20+ home runs. You don't think they like heaters? You don't think they like heaters that are elevated? You gotta bring them a little bit higher than that.
1-1 count on Chirinos. Chirinos has 8 home runs. He came into the game hitting 181 with 8 home runs, and they've all come on the road. 2-1. Two. Just the high fastball. Rays fell behind 2-0, but answered with a run in the 3rd and 5 in the 4th. Takes care of Chirinos. He's out on strike.
He didn't even get fancy there. Forget the elevated fastball. That ball is in the middle of the zone. Right here. Not up around the letters. That's right there. And still Chirinos. You know why? The swing doesn't change. We see that a lot. There's a reason why the strikeout numbers in Major League Baseball are just continuing to climb through the roof. Guys do not cut down on their swings with 2 strikes. That was a long, drawn-out swing, and he's able to get it by it.
Well, Stubbs hits one a long way to the opposite field, and that's out of here. So Stubbs, and for a good part of his career, has been a strikeout or power guy, and he hits that one a long way to the opposite field. And so they get a run to make it 6-3.
That's probably why he'll play forever. Because that's the flip side. That's the trade-off. A lot of teams, they're more than willing to put up with a ton of strikeouts if there's the occasional home run. And so you don't cut down on your swing. Drew Stubbs is able to get to this pitch and power it to right field. So a lot of strikeouts and some home runs. That's the modern day player.
Shields takes the pitch away. Yeah, and if you don't get the fastball up enough, then every once in a while you're subject to a ball hit that way.
That's why I think with a lot of these, you look at the Rays starters, and almost all of them have a career high home run rate. Well, almost all of them have a very good percentage of fastballs that are elevated in the zone, that they work to great success, get a lot of outs with those pitches, but also, like you just mentioned, you become susceptible to the long ball if you don't quite get it there. It's a risk they're willing to take.
Two and 2 the count. The Shields hit that home run, a 2-run homer in the 3rd to give Texas the early lead. 6-3 Rays right now. Fly ball. Moncook and Souza. Souza Jr. calls for it and makes the catch. A run on the home run by Stubbs. Bottom of inning 5 coming. 6-3 Rays. inning. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. Rays will be opening the series here tomorrow against Mookie Betts and the Red Sox, and it seems that Betts has been on just a torrid pace all year, and that's picked up even more lately. He's the 4th leading hitter in the American League and has more multi-hit games than any other hitter. Look out, foul ball.
Oh, man.
And that ball straight back, and the bat right off the top of the Rays dugout into the stands. Wow.
Yeah, he gets whacked here pretty good. He's a gamer, but watch this. And right in the left shoulder. Thankfully, it was the handle end. The grip stick is not doing its job today. A couple of errors already.
Couple innings, yeah. Three and one. I'll tell you, the Matt Duffy bat that went flying, and now one from Brad Miller. Ball 4. And Brad Miller with a leadoff walk.
You want to talk about a pitcher that's struggling and maybe losing a little bit of confidence. Talked about the batting average left on left coming in. Pretty good, right?
170 with the only home run he's given up to a left-handed hitter is Big Poppy.
2-1 count.
Yep.
3-1 count. Pitches in the dirt. Not even near the strike zone.
Beckham takes the pitch down. Getting some action in the bullpen. Barnett was in the game the other night. Move to first. Miller back in. Rays have put the leadoff man on base in 3 of the 5 innings now. Tosses over there with Miller aboard. Giving the bullpen a little more time as well. Foul. They've been busy down there in that section. There's another souvenir. Over to first. Rays sent 8 men to the plate in the 4th inning, scored 5. Two 2-1 to Beckham. Chopped down to Beltre. He's going to take this one to first. That moves Miller up to second. Beckham chops third to first.
Yeah, and the chopping action right there acted like a bunt. Get the guy in the scoring position. You know, ground ball to Beltre. Probably can cut down the lead runner at second base, but because of the chop, the high bounce, you only had one play, and you at least move the runner into scoring position.
A man at second, 1 out. Steven Souza Jr. The hitter. Chirinos going out. spending some time on the hill. Barnett continues to loosen in the bullpen. Souza 1 for 2 today. In the center field, Desmond is right there, makes the catch, tag, and on his way to third is Brad Miller, and Miller lost contact with the bag with his right hand. Beltre putting the tag on him, and the Rays lose the base runner. So Souza with a fly ball to center, and it would appear that Miller was all set to be safe, but came off the bag at third, and that's going to end the 5th inning. And here it is.
He sneaks in. Look at the momentum. The momentum. He is fighting like crazy to keep that hand in contact with the bag and just can't do it.
6-3 Rays. Fox Sports Support's proud to team up with Girls on the Run in their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Registration now open. Learn more about how you can become involved this fall and visit foxsportsupports.com. Here's Desmond trying to check his swing, and he went around. That's a strike. Desmond 0 for 2. Beltran next, and then Beltre. Fly ball too deep toward right center, and this is Bontuk taking care of that. You know, interesting point you made after that inning was over. Miller tried to advance, and Desmond didn't seem to have any urgency, maybe even in making a play there. And Miller trying to take advantage, and it would have turned out to be a good move, except he just lost contact with the bag.
And a lot of people will say third out at third base, and I get it. But you're trying to take advantage of a situation where Desmond a little flat-footed. Miller's going to challenge him right here. Now he's got to try to hustle, make the play, all arm on the throw. Now Miller's safe. But he was, had so much momentum, he was not able to keep his hand on the bag, and obviously was tagged out. But then you project forward. Think about how many pitches Martin Perez is throwing in the dirt. I mean, a 1-2 every at bat. So there's another reason why getting to third base there would be somewhat important. You've got the lead. And I know that a lot of people will say, again, third out at third base, and again, you totally get it, but you're taking advantage of a guy who's not set up to throw the ball well. You're safe anyway, and if you are on third with 2 outs, now you think about the Martin Perez changeup and slider that he's bouncing all night long.
Absolutely, and there are exceptions to every rule, and so I think that was a great read by Miller given that situation. He's back. You're always ready to tag up on anything. And if you see the defender not necessarily being as urgent as you would anticipate, well, take off, and he did.
Yeah.
And he was safe by a mile.
Yep. Which is what even close. And that's what the coach tell you. If you're going to go, you're going to try to steal third with 2 outs. You're going to do these things. You had better be in there easily, which he was. But in trying to avoid Beltran, he just, couldn't stay in contact.
Popper foul and headed out of play by Beltre. So there's a case where I think that's a good read, good idea, and he was going to be there safe by a long margin, and unfortunately just had his hand come off the bag, and Beltre, a good play.
But his tag was right on the money because that hand wasn't off the bag for very long.
Ooh, he chased that pitch up, and it's a quick 6th inning for Smiley. Bottom of the inning coming, 6-3 Rays. Scored 2 in the 3rd. The Rays got on the board with Evan Longoria's 3rd inning double. Cut the lead in half. And then a 5-run 4th. A base hit by Corey Dickerson got the 1st run home. Bobby Wilson put down the bunt on the 1st and 3rd play. That gave the Rays the lead. And then Logan Forsythe unloads a 3-run home run to the opposite field. Capped that 5-run inning for the Rays. Made it a 6-2 game. It's now 6-3. And Corey Dickerson leads off here in the bottom of the 6th inning against Martin Perez. Dickerson 1 out of 2. Two. The mid-80s in pitch count, leading off here, facing Dickerson in the bottom of the 6th. Montour set to hit 2nd in this inning. Dickerson out on strikes. 1 gone here in the 6th inning. We'll check in with Todd Callis right now.
All right, Dwayne, the Boston Red Sox coming to town for 4 beginning tomorrow, and Blake Snell will be on the mound against David Price in the opener of that 4-game series. Caught up with Snell before the game today, and he said one thing he has to do is be more aggressive. He feels like he's been walking too many hitters, averaging more than 3 walks a game in his last 11. And he'll get to face a team that is 3rd in the American League in walks and leads the AL in major leagues in runs scored. Yes.
Yeah, that all starts tomorrow in a great pitching matchup. Snell against Price.
And a great test for what Todd just pointed out right there. Yeah, we saw that in New York. You know, Blake Snell at times pitching away from contact, being a little bit too fine, and you're facing a veteran-laden team who's patient, will take pitches, will try to work counts, and so that will be a great test for Blake Snell, and we'll see. That'll be something to look for. A little foreshadowing for tomorrow night. How aggressive is Blake Snell early into attack mode from pitch number 1 and challenging that lineup? That's his best bet for success.
Took out in front of the changeup, and it's 2-2. Well, that's been one of the encouraging things about Snell. You see the physical ability and 4 pitches and confidence in those pitches, but he can be reflective and a self-evaluator, which is so good to see in a pitcher so young when it comes to age and experience.
That's how you know that this kid has a chance to be special. He's got special tools, there's no doubt about it, but it's the intangibles, it's the accountability, the fact that he can recognize, instead of saying, hey, you know, I'm throwing the ball great and everything's awesome all the time, he can say, you know what, I need to be more aggressive. I need to get better at that. I need to stop walking guys. It just doesn't feel good. I need to improve. That accountability will lead him to bigger and better things.
There's a shot to center field. Desmond will go back, have room just as he hits the track, and he makes the catch. So Mikey Montook 0 for 3 today. The second out here in the 6th inning. Well, the Red Sox come in tomorrow, as we mentioned. Blake Snell against David Price. They're in for 4 games. Chris Archer will pitch the second game, yet to be determined for Boston. Matt Andriese on Wednesday against Rick Porcello, and back to Jake Odorizzi on Thursday against Drew Pomeranz. Great baseball in store there. It'll be Wilson out in front. Strike 1, a big cut there by Wilson. One count. Well, Texas, as we mentioned at the outset, in here with the best record, more wins in the American League than anybody else, trailing the Cubs in the major leagues for wins. But the man on the mound right now, when you look at the depth of their rotation and they try to hold off those other teams, Perez, a big part of their rotation. He has to be successful for this team to get, number 1, to the postseason, and beyond that, deep into the postseason.
Hamels and Yu Darvish, and then after that, right, you've got to look at Martin Perez to step up, and today's not been his day.
So a couple of strikeouts in the 6th. 6-3 Rays. Sports Sun brought to you by Jeep. the official vehicles of summer, celebrating 75 summers of living 4x4ever. By Kubota. For more information, go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com. And by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Smiley doing the pitching for the Rays. And a big lift from a fellow Razorback, Logan Forsythe, who belted a 3-run homer in the 4th. Rays lead 6-3. As we go to the 7th, Odor leads it off. Logan the DH today. It was a bunt attempt and a miss for a strike.
Could you have put a pitch in a better spot when the guy squares to try to bunt and get up the line?
Yeah, no chance to reach it.
No, none.
Andrus next, then Rua is due up. The Rays have Erasmo Ramirez in the bullpen. He had done a little throwing in the previous inning. Ball, 2 strikes. Jeffers up in the bullpen. Good arm out there.
And he quietly came over in the LaCroix deal from Milwaukee, where he was 27 out of 28 in saves.
There's a reach and a miss on that pitch, and the throw down to first by Wilson. That pitch just kept moving away from him. And a strikeout.
And smart pitching by Drew Smyly. Okay, you're going to see the final result here. Okay, that ball well off the plate and below the zone. But think about first pitch strike. Fastball down and away called. Then a fastball just off, fouled off. So now take the breaking ball further off. And you just, that's how you, when, I've used that phrase before, when you walk a guy off the plate, that's what he did. He went corner, little off. How much further are you willing to go? And he went. And by the way, going back to that's what happens when you pitch from out in front. That's how you expand the zone, and guys will end up. You know, you could just lure them. That's what you want to do. You want to lure them into outs.
By the mound, 1 hop to Beckham. You know, and I'm sure that people are well aware of this, but you tend to be animated anyway. But when you talk about how you work a hitter, it's so pitcher-like, and it's a cool thing. And this is how you get ahead. You walk a guy right off the plate.
It's exciting to see.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love it. I love when you watch guys pitch, and there's a purpose to what they're doing. They're not just throwing stuff up there and hoping that a guy pops it up or grounds it out, but there's a purpose to what they're doing. And when it falls into place and they execute, it does. It gets me all jacked up.
2-0. Well, it's fun to watch. That's a part of the game. And the more you watch this game and the more you recognize what's going on out there a lot of the times, that's a really fun part of this game. And it's that battle between hitter and pitcher, not just a guy standing on the mound and a guy at the plate and somebody's throwing a pitch somewhere.
Right.
No, it really is fun from that point of view. Strike call to Rua. 2 outs, bases empty. 3-1 the count to the Texas first baseman Ryan Rua. Foul right back. So the count now full.
Yeah, it's even fun on the other end when you watch a Rays hitter who's being pitched a certain way make the adjustment, whether it's within the at-bat or within the ball game, to be able to have success. That's fun too.
Well, Ryan Rua, I don't know if you knew this or not, but one of your favorite players because he's a big Cleveland Browns fan.
Come on.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. He's from Amherst, Ohio.
Okay, there you go.
There you are.
I was going to say, you come by that, by virtue of region. You can't grow up somewhere else and be rooting for the Browns.
So Rua draws the walk. Kevin Cash out to make a pitching change. Departs after 6 2/3 and 107 pitches, allowing 3 runs, 5 hits, a walk, and picking up 7 strikeouts.
And really the only blemish for Drew Smyly was a cutter that got away with him, got it away from him to Delino DeShields. Other than that, the fastball was good. The breaking ball, you see how he moved that fastball around the zone. A lot of elevated heaters, a lot of swings and misses. There's a chase right there on a good breaking ball by Drew Smyly. 6th straight start of going 6+ innings. Did give up 3 runs this time, so that'll break the 2 runs or fewer. But another tremendous outing. And you notice that after that little cutter that DeShields hit, he kind of put that pitch in his back pocket, stuck with the breaking ball and the fastball to great success.
Erasmo Ramirez was in the game last night for an inning, gave up no runs, 1 hit. And the first pitch into Robinson Chirinos missed for a ball. Over to first base, Rua, the base runner, back in.
And speaking of the Browns, they're down here all week.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons you're so excited.
Little head-to-head, anyway, except that they play the game when we're in Houston. That's not so cool.
Yeah,
but yeah,
there are benefits.
Joint practices.
Yeah.
And it's the 3rd preseason game, the one real one.
There you go.
On your way to a 3-13 finish. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Hey, life's what you make it.
Hey, listen, after, you know, what we got to experience up in Cleveland with the Cavaliers,
yeah,
there's no complaining. It's once every 50-some years.
We got a little trip by Jim Hickey headed to the mound here, 2-0 to Chirinos with some action in the bullpen, and Hickey to make sure that everything's okay and everybody's on the same page.
Yeah, the only concern would be if the trainer went out with him.
Yeah.
That's obviously not the case, but I don't know if I've ever seen that, where a pitcher comes into a ball game, already been handed the ball, warmed up, throws 2 pitches and gets a visit. Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
Fastball just missed up. Nothing out of the ordinary. Hickey just said get the fastball down.
Yeah, and he did. Good visit.
He has a lot of those.
He does. It's uncanny.
He does. I mean, well, you know what? He goes out there with always a positive frame of mind and always telling you what you're going to get done, what we're going to do here and why it's going to work. You know, it's just everybody leaves there knowing, hey, listen, execute this and we're going to get the ground ball double play, the swing and a miss, whatever we need. And more times than not, that's exactly how it happens.
3-1 to count on Chirinos. Moreland has moved on deck. And the pitch is a little bit wide right there, and he walks Chirinos. And that means it's going to be Mitch Moreland to hit for Stubbs. Well, the pinch a penny pinch hitter. Well, here's Moreland on Friday night, and with that in mind, Kevin Cash comes out of the dugout. And Cedeno up in the bullpen, and we're going to see a pitching change. the new pitcher for the Rays. Rangers have put 2 men on after the first 2 men had been retired. 2 walks. You don't want to start walking people in the late stages of a game. The Rays lead 6-3, but here with 2 outs in this inning, Texas will get the potential tying run to the plate and the pinch hitter Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, there's no question about it. What makes it worse? They were 2 walks with 2 outs.
Yep.
Bottom of the order walks. A lot of bad here, but it can all be undone by a couple of good pitches by Cedeno.
First pitch is a strike. Moreland 21 home runs. Brad Boxberger up in the bullpen. Moreland a .256 average with 5 of his home runs off lefties. Foul back. 2. Moreland out of Mississippi State. And a key hitter, of course, Cedeno and the Rays. They try to get to the bottom of the 7th inning with a 3-run lead. 0-2 pitch. 1-2.
And a great job of smothering that pitch by Wilson. You think about that ball gets away, gets by him. Now 2 runners into scoring position. A little bloop would cut this lead to 6-5. And Bobby Wilson out there, get around it, smother it. You see how he gets his torso over top of the baseball so as not to let it bound away. Just smothers that thing.
And a little popper short center field. Here comes Montuk. It's going to drop for a base hit. Run will score. It's going to be first and third. And it's a 2-run game now, 6-4.
Well, there's your little blooper. I mean, I guess you could say fortunate it only cost you 1 run. But that ball hung up there for an awful long time. You're hoping somebody could get there as this ball right off the end of the bat, protecting with 2. And Moreland able to drop that out into shallow center.
Well, another pitching change coming. Now a 2-run ball game. Back in a moment. The Rays 4 deep now in pitchers today.
Well, Boxberger on for the 9th time, and Kevin Cash has certainly been busy here in the top half of the 7th inning, trying to stem this little uprising by the Rangers. Now leaving it up to the man who led the American League in saves last year, Brad Boxberger.
Nomar Mazara will pinch hit for DeShields. Runner at third, Chirinos. Moreland's at first. This pitch is a strike at the knees. High down the right side. Foul ball and out of play. Souza pursued it right down to the very end, but it was well out of play. Two strikes now. Foul right back. Mazara hit a home run in the 9th inning of last night's game at an RBI single, 1 for 4 in the game on Friday. He's hitting for DeShields, who hit the 2-run home run in the 3rd to open the scoring. Which is foul.
Oh! Couldn't hang on. Heck of an effort, though. I don't know if the glove was broken in properly. That's what led to it sliding out the end.
He got him, cut and a miss. Mazara out on strikes. 8 strikeouts for Rays pitching and a big one to end the threat. Texas scores 1. It's a 2-run game, 6-4 Rays. Tropicana Field, middle of the 7th inning. Fans have taken the 7th inning stretch. The Rays hold a 6-4 lead over the American League West leading Texas Rangers. Logan Forsythe, the big blow for the Rays, and a 5-run fourth, his 16th home run of the year. Accounting for half of the runs, Drew Smyly 6 2/3, 4 runs on 5 hits with 7 strikeouts and a walk. Mitch Moreland will stay on. He'll take over at first base. Ryan Rua moves from first to left field. Shields lifted for the pinch hitter. And Stubbs out. Lifted as well. Mazzara will stay in the game and play right field. So 3 new defenders in the game. Jeremy Jeffress will be the new pitcher, overall making his 55th appearance. Two with a 244. Perez 6 innings, 5 hits. He gave up 6 runs, had 5 strikeouts, 3 walks, and the home run surrendered to Forsythe. And Forsythe will be the first hitter to face the new pitcher, hard-throwing right-hander Jeremy Jeffress.
Jeremy Jeffress coming over in the trade that brought himself and Lucroy from Milwaukee. 27 out of 28 in saves. Texas, they need help in that bullpen, and he's one of the guys they're going to rely upon.
Yeah, he gets to the mid-90s quickly.
Some good life and action on the pitches. You could see right there.
See how that thing ran in?
Yeah. I mean, just taking a right-hand turn.
Tough to hit and tough to avoid being hit.
It's a heat seeker.
Diving stop by Odor, and from one knee makes the throw to first to get Forsythe.
Now that was a heck of a play, because Logan looked like he was trying to, push that ball out into right field. Does a nice job of staying inside of it. A better job by Odor to track it down, spin, and make a nice throw to Moreland.
Matt Duffy 0 for 2 with a walk. No strikes. Jake Diekman up in the bullpen. One and one. He takes it down. Fly ball short center in comes Desmond. Ian Desmond makes the catch. Two outs here at the bottom of the 7th. There's Evan Longoria. The ball, no strikes. Rays go from facing the left-hander Martin Perez to this tall right-hander Jeremy Jeffries. Outside of third, foul. Evan doubled in a run. In the third, 1 for 3. Strike on the outside corner at 95.
Hey, you can see, why Jeffers can have success and had a lot of success with the Brewers. The arm angle, the action on the pitches, the velocity on the pitches. That whole, he gets that arm side run, and then you start to think about the hard breaking ball away. There it is.
The count goes to 3-2.
This is a Texas team at the bullpen with the worst ERA in the American League, looking to bolster that part of their team. They bring in Jonathan Lucroy, and then quietly Jeffers is in on the back end of that deal.
Strike 3 called on the curveball, and Longoria caught looking. There it is, right out of the hand. And brought back by Chirinos. 6-4. Kiermaier's had that tightness in his left hip, but he's going to come into play center field with Mikey Mautuk headed over to the left. Dickerson out of the game. So we're going to see Kiermaier today. Logan Forsythe started as a DH, and now Kiermaier on defensively in the 8th. Brad Boxberger on the hill. Here's Ian Desmond. First pitch is a strike. Desmond 0 for 3, 3 fly balls. Had a very good year here for Texas. First pitch up, this one at the knees. 0-2, Colomé. up in the bullpen for the Rays. Foul out of play. Colome came on in the Wednesday game against San Diego for a 4-out save. He's loosening in the 8th inning of this one. Carlos Beltran due up next, and then Adrian Beltre. Two. Has been laying off that changeup.
Well, that's the name of the game for Brad Boxberger. Fastball, changeup, try to get you in between, or he can get you out in front of the changeup, gas the fastball by you, or at least get you late on the swing.
And he missed with that fastball. So it's a full count on the leadoff man after getting ahead of him. It's now 3-2.
And remember, just a 2-run lead at this point. You do not want any free passes heading into the middle of this lineup.
Well, there's a base hit off the fastball. Law took over to make the pickup. Ian Desmond has his first hit. It comes to lead off the 8th in front of Carlos Beltran.
And you'd prefer not a hit either. But that's exactly what Ian Desmond does. Battles to get back in the count. He gets a pitch out over the plate, which you're expecting in a full count in this situation. Stays on it nicely and does get the tying run here to the plate.
Beltran 0 for 3 today. First pitch, change up wide. Was grounded out to second, struck out, fouled out to first. Over to first and back in is Ian Desmond. Boxberger in his first 8 outings with a 2.45 ERA, but he would tell you he's not quite as sharp as he'd like to be just yet. Just missed there, and it's 2-0.
Been a lot of downtime, a lot of rehab time, and you can absolutely expect that. Not in mid-season form by any stretch. But still, he's been good enough.
3 balls, no strikes, the count. Boxberger pitched an inning in Friday's game. Now he picks up the zone. 3-1. He had a 13 pitch inning in Friday's game and did have 11 of 13 pitches as strikes. Gave up a hit and no runs. Ground ball first. Miller, now he's going to have to go to Boxberger. He started to go to second and decided better and turned around, went to first.
You know what? It was almost as if he was a quarterback. Being a right-handed thrower, he's trying to create an angle here. And Brad Miller, it's like he's reading the play like a quarterback and is just not comfortable with what he sees. Look at Desmond get way inside. Now look at now you talk about out of the baseline. I mean, he was way in the turf there. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to cut down Brad Miller's angle. Boy, oh boy, that's as egregious as we've seen.
Yeah, the next thing they're going to do is put a running lane between first and second the way they have it first.
Yeah, well, listen, to Ian Desmond's credit, that was a savvy play, not going to be called on it, but he got in the lane, and Brad Miller not comfortable making that throw, and you don't blame him.
Beltre takes the pitch down. Take a look. He's on the grass or on the turf here.
Where are you going to throw it? Where are you going to throw it? He's directly in between him.
One count on Beltre.
And you're going to nail, was it Matuk early in the year for not being in the running lane? Because he was, I mean, that's worse than anything we've seen up the first baseline.
1-2. Desmond knew where Miller had to go to get the ball and where he would be. Created the interference of sight line. 2-2 now on Beltre. Look out, foul ball, out of play. Beltre had a 4-hit night Friday, including home runs in back-to-back innings in that game. 2 for 4 last night. 0 for 3 on the day right now. The count is full. So the third consecutive 3-ball count. 3-2 to Beltre. Odor is on deck. Fly ball into left center. That ball is caught by Matuk. Racing into left center as he got to the track, reaching up and grabbed it. Mikey Matuk with a big catch for the Rays in left center field. Desmond remains at second. Here's a look again.
Ended up catching that ball over his head. Got there in time. Now look at, he has to almost slow up and reach back over the head, make a nice catch, and then turn and get it in right away. Brad Boxberger certainly appreciative of that effort. You just never know. As much as we've talked about the struggles at the plate right now, you never know how you can affect the game. And that's why it's best to leave defense out in the field, your offense in the dugout, so you can be clear-minded to help your team win. And that was a big play.
Here's Odor, and how about the defensive replacement made just in this inning by putting Kiermaier in center and Matuk in left, because Dickerson's going to give you every effort, but he's not going to get there.
Probably not. Probably not. That's why you do it.
1-1. Odor out in front of the changeup. Two balls and a strike. Beltre ripped it into left center, and Matuk got over there to catch it. Change up again. 2-2. Six-4 ball game, man on. Odor who leaps. A little ground ball right back to the hill, and the throw to first by Boxberger will take care of Odor. Bottom of the 8th coming. It's 6-4 Rays. This series against Texas, wrapping up the Texas series. Boston will be in starting tomorrow. The Rays hold a 6-4 lead in this game. And coming up after our coverage, Rays Live, the post game, presented by Checkers. Todd DeRestins will anchor the coverage. Logan Forsythe returning to the Rays lineup. Big home run in the 4th inning. We'll have the press conference per normal from Kevin Cash and interviews from the clubhouse. Sam Dyson, big hard throwing right-hander, new pitcher in the bottom of the 8th for Texas. Brad Miller leads it off. Takes a strike.
Sam Dyson, another guy that can get that fastball into the mid-90s, but more of a sinker ball power guy. You know, you think about some of the guys in this game, the fastballs in the mid-90s, you think of a lot of power, a lot of strikeouts, not so much for Dyson.
Into left center field. That ball's going to be in for extra bases. One hop to the wall. Miller's on his way to second. A leadoff double as the Rays try to pick up some extra offense here to pad this 2-run lead.
You get the feeling coming into this inning that the Rays are trying to hang on. Yeah, just trying to hang on for victory. And Brad Miller's saying, hey, how about we go get a couple? And he laces that ball down and away with authority. Nothing new, nothing surprising, and the Rays have a chance to add.
23rd double for Brad Miller. See what Tim Beckham can do here. Yesterday's 2 triple performance, a double and a run scored today. The bunt throw back to second, and Miller back in there to the outfield side of the bag.
Got to be careful. You know, you want to get a good secondary lead and anticipate the bunt being put down, and you see that one misstep, and that's what allows the throw behind. You know, you're going out there expecting that ball to be put down, and then you got to get a good break towards third. But when it's not, you have got to get back immediately. That shows you how close these plays can be. And that tag right there by Andrus actually was on the bottom of Brad Miller's cleats as he slid back in.
Yeah, and important not only with that hand to the back of the bag, but you could see him move his body to the outfield side of that play.
It's like the pickoffs at first base when you dive towards that outside corner.
And a bunt attempt fouled. That will advance the count to 0-2.
Anytime you have those plays where you're sliding into a bag, you're reading the infielder and where he's catching the ball, and you want to make him have the longest tag possible, have to go the furthest he can go.
And Beckham is out on strikes. Missed the mid-90s fastball.
Not a big strikeout guy. He picks one up there, and that's a big one because it keeps Brad Miller at second. You like to at least try to advance him to third with less than 2 outs, but that swing right there well over that fastball.
Alex Colomé busy in the Rays bullpen. Pitch away. Souza Jr. singled and scored in the 5-run 4th. Rays got a run in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th to hold a 6-4 lead. The outside corner. 1-1. balls and a strike. There's a shot deep into left center field. That ball is out of here. Home run to left center for Steven Souza Jr. And the Rays do pad that lead. They make it 8-4. Souza's 13th home run of the year.
That was an absolute missile off the bat of Souza Jr. Showing some power here recently, and that's a big one too. It felt like the Rays were trying to hang on to win this game, and now they jump right back to a 4-run lead.
Well, we homered in the game here in the 8th inning Friday. A long home run. And hit that ball extremely hard on a line out to left center.
What was hit harder, the ball or Brad Miller's forearm? He juiced up coming across the plate.
Kevin Kiermaier in the spot vacated by Dickerson on the defensive changes in the top half of this inning. He lines it up the right field side, just foul. Kiermaier, that pitch moving in on him, pulls it just foul. Here's that home run swing and the pitch.
Got to get the head out. That ball's tracking into the inner part of the plate. And then here's the That's Brad Miller. Yeah, see, he did get him pretty good. He got both of them pretty good.
Going down for more in the dugout.
Smacking catfish.
There's a chopper by the mound, and Kiermaier's going to get himself a base hit. Now Kevin, with that left hip tightness that kept him out, but you put him on the field, he's going to play the way he's going to play.
Well, this is the big difference, and this is where you know that left hip is feeling good. There was nothing. That was not like the other night where he really was easing his way up the first base line. That's the norm. That's the norm all the time. And once you saw that ball get over the head of Dyson out there, no chance. And that's a good sign.
Well, a visit to the mound. Doug Brocail, Texas pitching coach. Rays have had a 2-run inning on the home run by Souza Jr. And now Kiermaier's aboard with Mikey Montook due up.
The last thing they want to do, Dyson's such an important part of their bullpen. Now this game's been blown out to a 4-run lead, is to keep him out there throwing a lot more pitches. And that's why the slow visit there by Mr. Brocail, allowing Martinez more time to get ready in the pen.
Well, took 0 for 3, hit the ball to the track and center in the 3rd inning. This one gets away from Chirinos, and down to second goes Kiermaier.
Well, I'll tell you, there's been some sloppy play by this Ranger team in this series. Again, the best record in the American League. Here's a breaking ball down and away, and Chirinos just can't get the glove there. Doesn't get the glove there, and gives up a scoring opportunity here to the Rays.
Well, they charge Dyson with a wild pitch.
They got to read to think that.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Where's Todd?
Sending our emissary at the moment as we speak. He's on his way. That's a strike, 2-1. low 3-1. And ball 4. Well, Montook has been struggling, draws the walk. Setting up first and second. Bobby Wilson. Wilson has walked. Got credit for a sacrifice and a run batted in the 4th on that 1st and 3rd bunt play. Struck out swinging in the 6th. After the move up of Kiermaier. Took walked infield at double play depth. Wilson bounces one foul. Montoyo distributing a souvenir to that young man. Decked out in his Rays colors, including the glove. Way to go, Charlie. Tapper foul by the bag. 2 strikes. Away 1-2. The Rays with a 5-run 4th grab the lead. Texas battled back with a run in the 5th, a run in the 7th. Now the Rays 2 additional runs in the 8th. Little tapper, third base side, just foul. Well, I'll tell you, Kiermaier hustling to the bag. Had that thing stayed fair, the bases had a good chance of being loaded here. And it was just foul when Beltre made the pickup.
Contact on the ground, and he's gone. And he's going to get in there. Yeah, that was. I mean, Beltre fields with his foot on. Ooh, he may have been out. He fields the ball with the foot on the bag as Kiermaier sneaks in.
Still a ball, 2-strike count. 2-2. Miller out on strikes. Fastball. Well, that's the second out, both coming on strikeouts. And that's going to get Logan Forsythe back to the plate. This will be his 5th plate appearance of the day. The big one came in the 4th when he unloaded a 3-run home run off the starter Martin Perez. Here's another look at that.
Yeah, this was a big blow right here. Welcome back to the lineup. Logan Forsythe, opposite field, drops it in the front row. Rays seemingly took control then, but then the Rangers, as they start to chip away, Rays answer here in the 8th.
This is a strike. Perez for 6, Jeffries for an inning, Dyson working the 8th inning. 1. Balls and a strike. Walk there by Chirinos. Pitch is wide. Mid-90s fastball. And it's 3-1. So. Has not been the efficient inning that Dyson and the Rangers were looking for.
And this is what is one of the issues that has plagued this team, the performance of the bullpen. Think about the playoffs postseason, and that bullpen needs to be strong. I mean, the starting pitching, the depth of the starting pitching for the Rangers, the performance of the bullpen. And if they don't get that ship righted here in the next month and a half, interesting to see where they end up. Certainly enough firepower in the lineup.
Well, this is the first appearance for Dyson since he had his 4th blown save of the year on the 16th against Oakland. Gave up 3 hits and a run in that one. Made 23 pitches. He's made 28 pitches here in the 8th. Ground ball, shortstop. Andrus with the throw to first in time. And so the Rays are out in the 8th inning, but they add 2 on a home run by Steven Souza Jr. 2 runs and a couple men left. 8-4. Rays lead as we head into the 9th. Go to the 9th inning with the Rays on top 8-4. Steven Souza Jr. giving the Rays a little breathing room with his 13th home run of the year in the bottom of the 8th. Logan Forsythe gave the Rays a big shot in the arm, capping off a 5-run 4th with the home run. Alex Colomé in this game, and is Elvis Andrus leading off. First pitch is a strike. Colomé on, trying to close this one out. Drew Smiley and Martin Perez, the starting pitchers, the pitchers of record. By the way, they did change the wild pitch to a pass ball in the bottom of the 8th.
Good job, Todd.
take him long at all.
You heard his footsteps running through the hallway.
Two-strike pitch. Tapper foul. Rangers have Profar. Gertz and Profar on deck. Brew is due. Profar on deck to be the pinch hitter. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Ball, shortstop. This is Duffy's throw to first in time. One away in the 9th inning. Homestand continues tomorrow, and Blake Snell will be on the hill for the Rays to open that series against the Red Sox. We'll be with you at 6:30. And David Price on the hill for the Boston Red Sox. Price coming in 11-8 with a .419. So a couple of left-handers to open that 4-game series. Profar pinch hitting. The pitch is down. One.
Colomé just continues to fill up the strike zone plus stuff. You got to really marvel at what he's been able to accomplish this year. Thrust into that closer's role. Has not, I mean, blinked, missed a beat, an all-star.
2 balls and a strike.
I tell you, very unassuming, accommodating, off the mound, away from the ballpark, and mean as a snake when he's out there on the mound.
Yep, he means business. (3-1) now. Pitched an inning and a third in the San Diego series. That was his last time out on Wednesday in that 2-0 game. Now a big swing on the fastball, and the count is full. Robinson Chirinos, the on-deck hitter. And strike 3 call. Pitch right at the knees. Profar caught looking. Nice strikeout for Rays pitching. Here it is.
Went there right at the kneecaps, obviously middle of the plate. Jim Wolf, quick ring.
Profar trying to coax the walk right there. Called out on strikes. Robinson Chirinos had a base hit back in the 3rd, scored a run. 1-0 since then, a strikeout and a walk. Outs, bases empty. Rays trying to win 2 out of 3 from Texas in this series. Rays won last night 8-2. And they're 4-1 right now on this homestand. 2 balls and a strike. Ground ball. Duffy short. Throw to first. That's it. Rays win it. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Texas Rangers in the ninth. And the Rays win this one 8-4 to take 2 out of 3 from the Texas Rangers.